Work it, make it harder, faster, makes us stronger. Work it, make it harder, makes us power. Work it, make it harder, faster, makes us stronger. Work it, make it harder, work it.
Hello YouTube, and welcome to my review of the Re-Fuel Digipower GoPro batteries. Today we're going to review the 6-hour Action Power Pack and the 12-hour Pro Pack. First off, we'll start with the 6-hour. Okay, let's unbox and see what's inside. Okay, so firstly we have the battery, one charger lead, one set of instructions. Okay, as you can see, the battery itself is a little bit bigger than your conventional back door that you would get from GoPro, and it also charges slightly differently. It's actually got a micro USB rather than a mini USB, which is standard on the GoPro. It does come with the lead, obviously, which is there to enable you to charge it. It does connect in the same sort of way via the GoPro port on the back of the camera, but as you can see, it replaces the back door, so it clips on in place of the back door. Now this is still waterproof, and it's rated to 40 meters. For anybody that's still using the GoPro 3 housing, this won't fit. You will have to get yourself a GoPro 3 Plus or a GoPro 4 housing to be able to use this. It doesn't actually fit on the door, won't physically shut. Here we have my blackout housing for the GoPro 3 Plus and 4. This fits straight onto the battery pack. All you do, again, is just simply remove the back door, connect the battery, close the case, squeezing it tight and clipping it on. So as you can see, it's now fully sealed on there, fully watertight. To give you a comparison from what a standard housing looks like with a back door on with a battery in it compared to the 4 housing with a 6-hour battery on, it's not massively bigger, and I must admit, for the fact you're not going to keep changing the battery every 2 minutes, it is somewhat nicer to use. As you can see with the 6-hour, it shows up as a standard battery backpack does. You get your 2 lines of battery life, your internal and your external battery. This is the 12-hour Action Pro Pack. So let's just see what we get in the box. So first of all, instructions. One USB adapter, unfortunately for the American market, so need to get a 2-pin converter to use that over here. One charger lead. One battery adapter, and the battery itself. Differences you'll notice with this battery is there isn't actually an option to connect it to the back of the camera. That's because it comes with this little adapter here, which goes in where the standard battery goes. So unlike the 6-hour, you can't use one of the internal GoPro batteries. You can only use this battery on its own. The 12-hour battery has the LEDs on the side to indicate how much life is left in the battery. So to use this, first of all, what you need to do, take off the back door, remove your battery, place in the adapter. This locks in place of the back door, so you actually need to release it, much like taking the back door off. So it clips into place. What you then do is again attach to the case, pop the camera in, and there we go. So to give you some sort of gauge of scale and size, that's the 6 hour, and that there is the standard GoPro Hero 3 housing. So as you can see, there isn't a massive size difference, however it is a little bit noticeable. Unlike the 6 hour, you only get one battery icon showing because there is only one battery. Okay, in both cases I'd recommend you don't store the battery on the back of the camera. In the case of the 12 hour, what I would recommend is actually using an open back door so you don't squash these pins down, because obviously these are what connect to the battery. All in all, I'm quite impressed with the Re-Fuel Digipower. For myself, being a climber and snowboarder, there's nothing more annoying than having to keep swapping batteries over. So with this, I can literally just chuck the battery on the back, go out for the day, and for the most part it will last. I've yet to run down the 12-hour battery. It has lasted all day so far, probably about 8-9 hours, and still have battery life in it. However, the 6 hour has probably ran out about 4-5 hours into use. So just have to see how that goes. It does seem to affect it more by turning the camera on and off, more so than leaving the camera continuously running. The good thing is with it, you do have the backup of the internal battery, so you do get that sort of extra 45 minutes to an hour or so out of the internal battery. So the 12-hour battery, I have found a couple of little, I wouldn't say problems with it, more of a GoPro issue than anything else. What happens is when the battery gets down to sort of 1 bar, when you start your recording, the camera seems to detect sort of low voltage in the battery and stops the recording. So you have to start the recording again. It happens after sort of like 5-10 seconds. But once you start recording for the second time, the camera's just fine. Just need to bear that in mind when the battery seems to get a bit low. No such problems with the 6 hour, because obviously it picks up the internal battery. It uses the external first, then goes on to the internal, so you don't end up with these particular problems. But because you've only got the one battery on the 12 hour, you do tend to have this problem. Pros and cons then. Obviously with the 6 hour you have the internal battery, but you do only get the 6 hours worth of charge. The 12 hour you get no internal battery, however it does mean you get 12 hours worth of charge. You need to weigh up whether you want to pay the extra. Okay, on the price front you're looking at $49.99 for the 6 hour and $99.99 for the 12 hour. This is based in April of 2016.
Work it, make it harder, faster, excess, stronger. Work it, make it harder, excess power. Work it,